How is it empowering to tell millions of people that they have no control over their lives or health? That fatness is a mysterious force in the universe that you can come into contact with, then assimilate it into your being, and if you resist it, it actually gets stronger. I feel like I just described an alien from a sci-fi horror movie, and what I actually just described is supposedly body positivity.
This is cool.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back to hang out on another video. My name is Nadia. I really appreciate all the feedback I got yesterday on the question I asked under my video. It's super helpful right now for me to be getting this feedback so early on, which brings me to my next thank you. The channel is already at over 500 subs, and I'm really surprised and really grateful. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been subbing. I'm excited to see where the channel goes. So for today, let's get into the video.
Okay, so for those who don't get it, there are so many men out there who refer to and talk about thin women in such a different way than fat women. Like, thin women are romanticized and they are seen as admirable and graceful and feminine and worthy of romance and chivalry. Whereas fat women, like this guy who talks about like fat girls in his music, are referred to as Taco Bell, chunky gordita crunch. Like, it's gross and it's offensive. Fat women are not put on the same pedestal as thin women are at all. Fat women are not admired. They're objectified and hypersexualized and glorified. But then when we say something and then we're like, yeah, this doesn't really feel right, we're told to shut up and be grateful for the attention anyway. There's no art, there's no poetry, there's no admiration, it's just objectification.
So we've watched a few videos together now from her on this channel, and she talks a lot about her ideals of how thin women get treated versus how fat women get treated. I think her perception is just a little bit skewed. Thinness is not in and of itself beauty, and beauty is definitely something we idealize. Being perceived as beautiful by anyone is going to be advantageous. The ideas she has about how thin women get treated align much easier with how attractive people get treated. And people who refer to women by their body size in ways like chunky gordita crunch don't reserve that part of themselves for fat people only. Chances are someone who talks like that would call anyone who didn't fit their ideal some kind of insulting nickname, like string bean if you're too skinny. If you're convinced that the world is gonna put you on a pedestal once you're thin, then buckle up is my advice.
I love your personality.
Thanks. It's a disorder.
Okay. You just had to ask. Anyways, so bro just doesn't like himself. Like, down to the core as a human being, does not like who he is. Can't relate though.
It's always a real treat when I see this community assuming health and other things based on your body size and fitness goals. But when it comes to them, they're so mystical. There's nothing you could possibly infer just from their appearance or 24 hours worth of their content. However, with just a glance your way, they can diagnose you with serious mental health issues, like an eating disorder. Tracking and routines are issues, but binge eating is a one-person revolution, right? Also, isn't the guy at the beginning of that second video just cusping the line of superhuman, considering he's lost weight and is keeping it off? This again. So juxtaposition, which is what is happening here, is usually something people find fascinating. This isn't new. This isn't special. The reason Betty White was so hilarious in her older age is because we assign a lot of characteristics to older people that Betty just blatantly defied. It's not funny when a 20-something says the F word because we expect it. It's funny when a 99-year-old woman drops the F word because we did not see that coming. Anyways, we're gonna say this together. This isn't healthy. Nobody thinks it is. Eating endless fast food is not the prize. I understand that she's trying to make the point that she can't do the same thing without getting different feedback. But if the girl in that video made a video about what she ate in a day and the calories were super low, she would get a lot of feedback about, that's why you're so skinny, go eat a burger, whatever.
Let's talk about it, because I think if we clear up this confusion, we'll all be a lot more on the same page. We do not have as much control over the size of our bodies as society would like us to think we do. Just like your height, the biggest determining factor of your body size is genetics. Also environment, also socioeconomic status, also epigenetic factors. A very, very small percentage of what determines the way our body looks is individual behaviors like what we eat and how we move. When you add that to the fact that 95% of intentional weight loss efforts fail, and most actually result in weight gain and are extremely detrimental to a person's health, you see how the logic of oppression only being about things that you don't have control over applies to anti-fat bias.
Yeah, let's talk about this. I give her a 10 out of 10 for telling people exactly what they want to hear, and a 1 out of 10 for believing what she's saying to people. And to me, that's a good thing. I hope she's just building her platform and doesn't actually believe this stuff. Think about the implications of these words. It's something I'm going to talk about more on this channel. How is it empowering to tell millions of people that they have no control over their lives or health? That fatness is a mysterious force in the universe that you can come into contact with, then assimilate it into your being, and if you resist it, it actually gets stronger. I feel like I just described an alien from a sci-fi horror movie, and what I actually just described is supposedly body positivity.
This is cool.
Looks like someone's mad. Go cry about it, bitch.
My dear, sweet child. That's what I do. It's what I live for.
Hi everyone. Okay, so I need some input. Now I've been in therapy for a while. It's getting expensive though, so now I gotta go less frequently. And one thing that I'm just having trouble dealing with is how the fuck do I not get annoyed at stupid, fucking idiotic, moronic, incompetent people who harass me and bother me. Like I'm supposed to not get mad and not allow them to have any power over me. But I'm sorry, you're fucking stupid and you're bothering me. How the fuck am I not supposed to get annoyed at that? Like, for my entire life, I fucking hated stupid people. And when I mean stupid people, I mean like people without common sense, or people who don't ask for consent, or just like people where you're standing there with the fridge open and they're like, where's the mayo? And it's right in front of them. Like those type of stupid people. And I don't get how to not be bothered by them. So let me know what works for you.
Oh, Marissa, I love that last video of hers because I feel like that's how a lot of people feel when they watch her content. So for the first time, it seems like we're all on the same page. I'll say that I cope with a lot of these videos by making jokes. So Marissa, if you're watching this, I would first recommend expecting the comments you get when you make videos like the first two. And second, just from time to time, ask yourself, am I the dummy? I ask myself that a lot, and sometimes the answer is yes. And it's calming to be like, oh, this is a me problem. Maybe that's just me. Who knows? Marissa's probably never going to see this. But I would suggest for anyone who watches her content and feels frustrated, just try to find something to laugh about.
Hey, I got something to say. Oopsie. Well, what'd you think of the intro? Did it look believable? Did it look real? Well, it wasn't. That was a completely staged phone drop. Don't believe everything you see on TV, guys. I just wanted to talk about the word oopsie. Oopsie. So on my first story time about how I got paralyzed and why I'm in a wheelchair, a lot of people commented that they liked this clip. Drove up the mountain and decided to go with my skis that day. Oopsie. Now, you might think that I added those oopsie clips in just to be funny, and yeah, that's partly true, but the word oopsie is far more significant than that. And to explain why, we need to flash all the way back to the day of my accident. So picture this, I'm laying in the medical center after a really bad wipeout off a ski jump, and I'm freshly paralyzed. Now tell me, what do you do in this situation? Do you scream? Do you cry? Or do you just take a selfie? Because I went with the last option. Now, there are a few photos of me taking the day of my accident, but there's only one that I took myself, and this is it, and it's a Snapchat. And you're probably wondering, how does one capture the emotions they're feeling in a single Snapchat? And this is how I did it. Whoopsie. And I stand by that. Now, I didn't send this Snapchat to anyone, because you don't want to be that person who sends a dramatic Snapchat without any intention of an explanation. But I saved it to my memories, because I knew I wanted to remember how I felt in that moment. And that's why the oopsies are so significant, because it truly captured the way I felt the day of my accident. And honestly, it's still how I feel about it now. Oopsie! Oopsie? It's a great word. I really love it, because it has huge range for potential use. You drop your phone on the ground, oopsie, and then you pick it up. You fracture your spine while skiing and become permanently paralyzed? You guessed it. Oopsie.
There's so much going on here that I love. So happy to come across content like this. It's really cool to me to see how he's utilizing language in such a profound way in his recovery. I wanted to share his experience because body positivity is much more than we see from the fat liberation side of things. His attitude is absolutely amazing, but that's not even the point. Positivity doesn't mean being positive all the time. It's definitely okay to let yourself feel bad, and we should normalize that as well. But really happy to see this content and happy to share it also. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Let me know what your thoughts are on all of this down below. If you're still listening and interested in giving me any feedback on this channel, my thoughts right now are I'm wondering if more people are here strictly for fat acceptance, fat liberation style content and commentary, or if there's an interest in doing commentary on other subjects as well. So let me know if you care to give me your feedback. I'm going to call this video for today, but I'll see you in the next one. Until then, please remember to take care,